Evening all. Right, I've just jumped across. The game's just finished. Liverpool 1, West Ham United 0. I'm just waiting for John and Nick to come across from the other side. Shouldn't be too much longer. That was actually turned out to be not a bad performance in that second half. Very interesting and good to see. Good to see Antonio playing up front with Scamacca. I never thought I'd see it. Honestly, I thought that was something. When Moyes said a few weeks ago, he was talking about playing 4-4-2 or playing two up front, and he said when you play two up front, you've got to play the back three. And I thought that was a little bit odd, right? But yeah, he actually did it, and I really enjoyed that second half. I mean, when you take into account cheap goal that we gave away, really, really cheap goal that we gave away, shouldn't have happened, should it? I mean, one of the lowest headers you've ever seen, poorly defended cross, poorly defended header. And so, you know, that put a stain on the first half, because I'm sure Moyes set that team up first and foremost to be solid and not concede, hold Liverpool out for a while. The last thing you want to do is concede a goal early on, and that's exactly what we did. 21 minutes, so that wasn't great. That wasn't particularly great, and then I think we were pretty fortunate when you consider all the chances in that first half. We're pretty fortunate for it to stay at a to stay. Oh, John's coming in. Hang on a minute. Yes, add you, John. Right, evening. Just talking about a game, and you know that the 20, I think, conceding a goal early on in the first half, that was just I think that just went against Moyes' game plans, right? Moyes' game plan, I think, was to keep it tight in that first half, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think.
You think what?
I think we started well, to be honest with you. It's literally as soon as they scored, I just felt we just fell apart. The game plan went. The players. Yeah. We seemed to revert a little bit, and we seemed to go backwards and became defensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think second half was, look, I know it's another loss, and people are going to say this, that, and the other, but I do think the second half was a lot more positive. It was great seeing Scamacca and Antonio on the same pitch together.
It really was, wasn't it? It really was.
Been calling for it for a long time, haven't they? So I'll just see if anyone's in the chat quickly, Gal.
I think you could say that we were quite lucky to go into half time at 1-0. I think they had a fair few chances in that first half.
Yeah.
But I think it was definitely a game of two halves, and I think Moyes pretty much got everything bang on in that second half, albeit quite annoying that you can time his substitutions. You know, it's going to be 60 minutes or 70 minutes. He did both today, didn't he? Yeah. I thought Ben Rama did pretty well when he came on, and I thought I hope it's not just an experiment, because that actually looked quite handy, didn't it? It looked quite handy.
Garino said just after you dropped off, he said he thinks Benny and Antonio should definitely have been on from the start. Yeah, like as he said there as well.
Yeah,
needed Antonio and Benny to take it to him, and they should have come on earlier. They should have.
Yeah.
You know, because when you see that, when you see the threat and the clear fear that we did put into Klopp, it makes you wonder why we don't give why are we not giving teams more to worry about from the start?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Why have we got to start so fucking cautiously? Why have we got to do it? You don't have to, you know.
Yeah, I think I do have a bit of sympathy when it comes to the likes of Liverpool, because you can get slaughtered at Liverpool. Right?
But that has been the same all year, Gary. It ain't a one-off.
No, it has. I agree. I agree with you when you're talking about away to Aston Villa, away to Southampton, and teams, because there's no need to do it when you're away to teams like that. We're better than teams like that. At least we should be. But I'm talking about we can only talk about one game at a time. We're talking about a Liverpool game, and I think for the Liverpool game, I think it was probably the right approach to be a bit cagey in the first half. It's just you cannot concede early, like I said earlier, and we did.
I think, as I said, Nick, even before their goal, Nick, even you said the players we're playing quite high. We was playing quite well, so the system was working to some extent. But the goal, I think Johnson didn't get out quick enough. Kehrer looked like he switched off, and it changed it a little bit, you know. I think Nick's talking to some callers. We're going to have some callers coming on in a minute. Amanda says, with a bit of luck, he will try that out next game. We can hope. He needs to start going for it. Garino says, because Moyes is Mr. Cautious, he would rather get a point away than try to win it. Well, if he keeps losing, then maybe that might force his hand. Ballon d'Orson, but for better finishing and decision-making in attack, that would have been at least a draw. John McFadden, I'm sorry, but Soucek was awful. I don't think that was one of his worst games, if I'm honest, John. I think he actually kept the ball better than I've seen him for a long time. So I do disagree, but I respect your opinion. Jack says, also, we beat Liverpool 3-1 last year, so I don't think we can use Liverpool being so much better than us as much as an excuse. Yeah, but we was on fire then, weren't we? Craven says, Talk Sport just said Liverpool dominated
John,
the game.
Sorry to interrupt, mate. We've got James Allen on the line.
James Allen.
How are you, James? You all right?
Not too bad, guys. How's everybody there?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. What were your thoughts on the game?
Okay. First half, yeah, I thought just typical as what we would normally do, how we'd set up and everything else. But I was kind of surprised, I suppose, isn't really the right word. I think the best way we look at Fornals playing out on the left and the same, and we just thought, yeah, okay, all right, we know what you're going to do, David. We know what your plan of action is. So from that, thought, yeah, defence didn't look too bad. Not the best one we could have done if everybody's fit and everything else. And that was kind of what I wanted to phone in about. Actually, looking at the way we have been all year, and the question I wanted to ask you guys was, how much do you think the chopping and changing of our back four or back three plays on the manager's mind all the time? Because if you look all around in the midfield and up front, we basically keep the same players all the time. No real bad injuries, but our back three, back four, continually changing in terms of personnel and who plays in what spot. All right, Fabianski or Areola not had any injuries yet. Yeah. So does the back four chopping and changing play into the minds of everybody on the pitch and the manager and everything else and our results?
I would imagine so, but I'll let one of you two take that. Go on, Gal. John.
I honestly, I think it does. I think you've hit a really important point there, because we've got we haven't got a settled team. Every single game, like you say, it's a different defense, isn't it? A different defense. Now, some of it's down to injury, some of it's down to rotation in the European games. But to my mind, the least you've got to do, and John, you played sound, so you can answer this in more technical detail. But I think the least you've got to do when you're forced to swap players out is to keep a rigid formation so that people know their jobs, right? Don't change style. Don't change to a 3.
Yeah, I think that James, me and Nick was talking about this probably yesterday or today. I can't remember now, but your back four solidity is so important for the rest of the team to make up the DNA. I don't think that Moyes, well, I know for sure because of Guerd, has been anywhere close to having the defence that he wanted after the summer transfer window. Yeah. I think Soufal would have been out of the team sooner rather than later, and I think probably we would have seen Cresswell disappear out of the team a little bit sooner rather than later. And I mean that totally respectfully, but you know, we saw when Dawson came back, and now he's injured again, but we saw in those 4 or 5 games when Dawson came back, the difference he makes to the team. He probably wouldn't have been a starter if all the defenders that we've brought in would have been fit. But, you know, at the very least, if you have someone like that, you have a leader, you have a shape, you have a unit, it's so important. And I think
that's the main thing, isn't it, John? The main thing is having that leader in that back line.
You need a leader. And we don't really, I mean, Kera's quite vocal on that, but Dawson leads with his head, and I mean that metaphorically and actually as well. You know, he wins everything. He thinks he's, you know, we're going to talk about it till the cows come home. He'll probably leave at the end of the year, if not in January anyway. But without the defenders and the injuries we've had in defence, I think it has caused a lot of problems across the pitch.
Yeah, we don't concede that goal if Dawson's in the team, right? We don't concede it.
No.
Well, we'd have had a chance of defending it better, definitely.
Go on, James. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, that's all right. Don't worry. Because See, I've played football for many years, like left wing, centre midfield, up front, and we all know. I think that when you look at a team, how it's set out, and we all talk about the spine of the team from the back to the front.
Yeah.
And if you're missing and always buggering about with that centre pair of defenders, the central pair, and you've got two leaders in there, and they just keep swapping, the whole spine of the team. That's the pivotal part of the engine room. Yeah. The team then relies on that pivotal part. Now, if you keep changing it around, you might as well say, well, we're already going to be 1-0 down before we've kicked off.
Yeah.
So you've already got that negative mindset before you've already gone into the game.
Well,
and that's what we did over that 2 year when Moyes was in the first time and in his first season back. We kept that strength in the team. Our heads were always up. We kept there. We were battling as a team, and that's the one thing teams always feared.
Yeah.
But now it's like we've reverted back to when Moyes came in to try and keep us up. And that's my look on it, and just thinking we cannot keep falling back to when Moyes was here trying to keep us up in that second part of that season, to try and keep our heads up above water, to try and keep our mentality up and our positivity throughout the team. And I do feel for him in a bit with our back four keep changing. So, yeah, do we dive into the January transfer window again and say we've got to look at the defence if Dawson goes? What do we do?
Yeah, I think we've got Aguirre coming back, haven't we? So he's training. He's training again now. So he's back. And it would 100%, especially with a manager as pragmatic as David Moyes, he's defensive minded. It's gonna worry him when his defence is all over the place. So, and any team is built from the back. Anyone who's played football will know that. You know, you need to have solid foundations for anything else. But yeah, I think you made some really good points there, mate. I've got to be honest. Whether or not he's got to go back into the transfer market again for another centre back, that's all going to depend on whether or not Dawson does go. I hope he doesn't.
Yeah. What happens to O'Connor as well?
Well, he's retiring, wouldn't he?
I think this is his last season. Got to be honest. He's doing quite well in the Europa League, but that's at a pedestrian pace against quite weak teams, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're already looking at 2, possibly even 3 or whatever central defenders and leaders on the pitch that we are going to be losing for. I think we've got to go back into the transfer window, and even if Aguirre does come back, we're still going to be light on central defenders. I
agree with you. I just hope that Aguirre turns out to be a leader, because, as John said, without Dawson in the team, Dawson is the leader of that defence. You know, you could tell there was the reason we conceded that goal is there was no leadership in the defence. That just wouldn't have happened with Dawson on the pitch, right? And apparently Aguirre is a leader, but obviously we've got to see that for ourselves. I just hope that I had a feeling, and a lot of people said this as well, that Aguirre is used to playing in a back three. I just hope that isn't the push that Moyes needs to start playing a back three, because we haven't got the players to do it.
If that's the plan, he needs to go and buy 2 new wing backs.
He does, yeah.
In my opinion. But anyway, James, have you got any other questions, mate?
Yeah, well, one very quick one, and it was basically, where do we go as a team with Benny? Are we gonna stick with him because of when he came on and what he did against and playing against the team of Liverpool? Does that even buy him more time with Moyes, or are we going to cut our losses at the end of the year? Where do we go with him?
John, go on.
I don't think we have at the moment enough. I don't think we have enough attacking players who are anywhere near on form at the minute. He is probably one of the attacking players who has been on form for us this season. We called for consistency last season when we were, not against him, but when we were calling him out for poor performances. I have to be honest, this year he's been fairly good most of the time.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, but he needs to start games. I was surprised he didn't start tonight, especially with Paqueta being forced out of the game. Another Flair player gone, but Moyes had his tactics, that's fine. But I think he did enough again tonight when he come on. He was forward thinking, so I think we've got to get him in the team, basically.
Yeah,
he's consistently doing well when he's brought on, isn't he?
Yeah.
and he plays well whenever he starts in Europe as well.
Yeah, he
does. What more you can do?
No, that's
he
right.
Does.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I agree with you.
Okay, well, fantastic, James. Thanks for your call, mate. That was very good. We're going to get back on with a review, and I've got a couple of other callers we've got to call back as well. But definitely calling again, mate.
Problem.
That was really good.
Thanks, James.
Will do. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers,
mate.
Bye.
Bye. Good call.
Yeah, he was.
Good call. But anyway, so where was we in the game? You was going through the game, Gary.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we kind of got to the second half, and I think the second half was they had a couple of sort of early chances, didn't they? I think the game once again changed around. You know, when we got the impetus of the game, it changed around. Number one, when Ben Rama come on, but number two, when Klopp made those unforced substitutions.
Yeah.
Right? And he seemed to be. I don't know whether he was being arrogant, whether he thought he had enough on to see it out on the pitch, or whether he was genuinely worried and wanted to defend it. But I didn't see at the time when he made the substitutions that there was any reason for him to be worried, because we weren't pushing forward, and that kind of gave us the impetus. Really, it was those substitutions that helped us. And then he made even more later, didn't he? So I think the second batch of substitutions he made was genuinely because he was afraid he was going to concede a goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that was a response to Antonio coming on.
It was. I don't know why he made the first ones though. I thought that was a weird decision.
Felt like a piss take to me. But there you go.
But yeah, I mean, we had a few very, very good chances there, didn't we? And
we did. For the most part, that was a dull game though.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the Ben Rama half chance where the ball came down out of the sky, that was actually a decent chance.
Look, Bowen's penalty, that Ben Rama chance, the Souček chance.
Yeah. There was a Kehrer header in the first half as well. That was a free header as well. So there's four very good chances that we had to score a goal. That ain't bad against Liverpool.
I've got to say it late on as well. There was a corner that came in, and it was Scamacca was unchallenged, and he headed it wide. I thought he could have done better, but I haven't seen the replay. But from what I saw, but I think it was just we could have nicked the point there in that second half. It was just poor finishing to some extent, really. A bit snatching at things, like when you're playing against him at Liverpool, you don't get them chances, and Scamacca showed that a little bit when Antonio played the ball down the right and he shot from a ridiculous angle. When you're a forward and you're not getting many opportunities, sometimes you do just snatch at things and make the wrong decision. So
yeah, that's right. I think on the upside as well, it's good to see Downs make his first Premier League debut. It was his Premier League debut, wasn't it? He's from the start.
Yeah.
He played well. He did well. He's a couple of dodgy forward passes, but that ain't his game. But having said that, he made a real pest of himself on the right hand side.
He didn't look overawed, put it that way.
No way. I mean, he was a very, very neat and tidy performance, like it always is with him. Right? We've got a proper player there.
I think so, mate. Yeah. I really do. I just I want him to persist with it. Like the thing is now.
Yeah.
Right, we've got Gary back on the line. Sensible Gary from Romford.
Oh, Gary from Romford.
How you doing, lads? All right?
You're right, Gary.
How are you? Yeah, fine. Yeah, so frustrating, isn't it, mate? I don't know what it is with Liverpool. The AMPL is just some sort of never do anything there, do we? You know what? The last 2 seasons away from home against the top 6 sides, if you look at the scores, it's the odd goal we lose every time. Every time we are the odd goal. We never get thrashed 3 or 4-0, do we, under Moyes? But on the downside, I was thinking today, when you think back the last 2 seasons, particularly, I think I know Nick's answer to this. Do you prefer the last 2 seasons, or do you prefer the Bilic season in 2016?
Because the Bilic season for me.
Sorry?
The Bilic season for me.
Yeah, because I tell you why, Nick, in the games away from home, when Bilic played, we went for it every time. And we beat most of them. We beat Man City away, we beat Arsenal away. We drew at Man United. We drew at Leicester, who won the league, and we was 2-1 up. We drew at Chelsea. We beat all the top teams. We went for it, but it's pie, you see. And Moyes, I don't know what we do, really. We're stuck between 2 things here. You're never going to get thrashed under Moyes. You're never going to get a good idea of anybody. But it's always his first half slow, and then you come out in the second half and we'll start to play a bit. But it's often too late. And Ben Rama, he's got to stop playing in games. He's got to start playing because You know, I'm fed up with this negativity from him. You know, with Moyes. I'm not saying Moyes out. I'm not. You know, I'm trying to be realistic as I can about it. But there's so many games this season we've lost 1-0. We've got so many points, Nick.
Yeah, no, we have, and like I say, the frustration is, and I know the last caller did make the last caller did make some good points about the defence, but nonetheless, we saw how we can affect the game when we go for it, and we showed that in the second half with some positive players, some positive substitutions. We all said Benny and Antonio, and what a different team we looked. So we clearly know what we're fucking talking about as a fan base, which we do. I think you said. I think Gary said he listened to a Craig Bellamy interview, and in that thing generally, you know, he said West Ham fans are generally some of the most knowledgeable fans that he's ever played for. And I think when you do get a general consensus, we've all got opinions, but when you do get a general consensus, which everyone had in that chat that we was on, that chat, everyone was saying Benny and Antonio. Everyone was. Now
I know, and you knew what was going to happen, didn't you? You knew once they come on, you knew what was going to happen. It's like you've seen a film before when you watch it every page, you know what's coming next. It's the thing with Moyes is he's got his psychological scarring against the top teams away from home. We've got Man United coming. We've got to beat Bournemouth next week to stop ourselves sliding down the league. But we've got Man United away, and you know it's going to be exactly the same again. We're going to sit there first half, sit back, probably lose the game 1-0. And if only it would be, you know, and I mean the other point, the other caller made, it's a valid point, but not being funny, Nick. Even if he had his first choice back four out there, it wouldn't have changed the midfield and front line. It wouldn't be any different.
No,
I don't think so.
No. So. It is. I've got a hope because I've been saying this for a while, which is why I'm so frustrated now because we've got some fucking good players now. Bearing in mind that was without Paqueta on the pitch, that was without Cornet. We've got a really, really good team. When we had our, I mean, if you look at that lineup, we had Cresswell, Zuma. This is when we started to affect Liverpool. Cresswell, Zuma, Kehrer, Johnson. We had Souček, Rice in the middle. We had Benny. We had Benny Skimeka. Who else was there? I think that was it, wasn't it? And Antonio. When you had those players on the pitch, we looked a different proposition altogether. That's attacking. And do you know what? Even Ben Rama, I mean, I can understand why he's a bit cautious because maybe he thinks some players like Fornells are better off the ball than others. But I don't know. Benny's not lazy. Benny does track back. He does track back. Yeah. He's added that to his game now. Antonio's not fucking lazy. He's a polar opposite of lazy. You know, he presses from the front. I can't really work it out, and that's why I've been getting so frustrated. I hate the fact we have to start slow. We was lucky today that game, especially you can get away with it against lesser teams starting slow because very few of these other teams are going to knock you out of the park in the first half. Liverpool could have easily had 3 or 4 goals. In the first half. Yes, John, they could have. You can pull the faces all you want, mate. Hang
on a minute.
Whoa. But no, you're all happy to throw the 25 shots thing at me against Southampton.
Me?
But the fact of the matter is. The fact of the matter is, Núñez could have had 4 fucking goals on his own.
Yeah, but look,
before we made any changes, yes, he could have. He could have.
But we've just covered that we could have had 4 goals as well, right?
But that's one player, Gary.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it doesn't matter whether it's one player or spread across the team.
Gary, we created our chances when we made the changes. That's what Gary's talking about.
It was a game. It's a game. Every single game, it's a game of 2 halves, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's a game of 2 halves. First half, we sit back. In the second half, like Antonio said a few weeks ago, it's like get to me 1-0 or 0-0 in the last 10, 15 minutes and go for it. I would love to get Moyes in a room, you know, ask him a few questions, you know, because surely when you keep losing these games against the top 6, when you keep losing these against these games against top 6 sides by the odd goal, season after season now, you know, surely it must realise he's got to try and be a bit more venturous. And most West Ham fans would much rather go out and have a go at these things. Like we did under Bilic, you know. All right, we fell away at the end under Bilic, but that season, I was so thinking back, when we went away from home against them top sides, we really went for every one of them, didn't we?
Oh yeah, look, that season, that Bilic season, that last season at Upton Park was the best. Listen, it was fitting that it was the last season at Upton Park. It was one of the best seasons I can remember, bar 85, 86, right? It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And we had a world-class player in our team as well. And look, you couldn't have finished it any better with that game against Man United. So I agree with what you said earlier. Given the choice of last season and that season, I probably would take that season. That's always going to live with you, isn't it? But then last season will always live with you as well. Getting to the semi-final of the Europa League, and the beating Seville, and with what's his name, with Yarmolenko scoring the winner at home to Seville and all that sort of stuff. It was brilliant, wasn't it?
It was.
Can I ask Gary and John a question quickly as well? Where we are now, and with how the season's going, where are you both with Moyes? I mean, are you getting to this point where you're getting a bit frustrated with it as well? Because I mean, these games, with so many games this season, we've not scored, and we lost by the odd goal. We're not scoring enough goals, are we? Especially away from home.
Listen, I'll tell you where I am, and it's very, very clear, right? I don't think Moyes deserves to lose his job yet, because I don't think he's done enough to lose his job. However, if we went and got another manager, I wouldn't complain.
No. Who would you like, Gal?
Poch.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Apart from that,
I mean, my choice would have been the guy that's gone to Chelsea, right? Beyond Poch, I haven't really made. I want somebody who likes playing a good attacking brand of football and can make the most. A manager who can look at our squad and get excited by the players that we got, because we've got a very, very good squad, like Nick said, right? So you've got to have somebody who's not defence first. So I would not complain at all. I'd feel a bit sorry for Moyes if he lost his job now, but if we upgraded on Moyes, I wouldn't be against it. That would be fine. But yeah.
I think also. I mean, the bloke at Celtic plays some attacking football. Whether he could cut it in a Premier League, I don't know. But I think the thing is really with Moyes, it's can he take us to the next level? And when I'm saying next level, what I mean is win a trophy or top four. Because some of these games this season has been so frustrating when you look back. We just even we scored one goal a game extra each of them games. Look how many more points we'd have had.
Yeah.
I think we never get thrashed by anyone.
I think he flatters. I think he flatters to deceive a lot. I think every now and then he'll do something to give you hope again, but then all of a sudden you'll get a Southampton, you'll get a Brighton, you'll get a Villa, you'll get and I know we won the Villa game, but that was mind-numbing, that game. You get these games and I can't work out why. It doesn't seem to make much sense to me. Like I say, it's do I think that we can win anything under him? No, I fucking don't. I don't. I think he's never won anything in his career. He proved in the semi-final last year what he did there, where I don't know what he did. He treated that like a league game, like he didn't want to lose badly.
Yeah.
He didn't throw a kitchen sink at it. I don't think the guy is a winner. He's not.
I'll tell you what, Nick. The next game is Bournemouth at home. It's really important we win this one, and he cannot start with 4-0 on the left. And he's got to play.
No.
He's played Downs now. He's got to start with Downs. He's got to play Antonio on. I mean, I don't care if he plays Antonio on the left or on the right. Play him up with Samaka. You haven't got to play 4-4-2. You can play 4-3-3. Put Antonio one side, Bowen the other, Samaka up the middle, and bring maybe even Ben Rama into it. But go for it. I don't want to wait to the second half against Bournemouth, paying them too much respect and sitting back 60 minutes. We should be going for it from the start and play an attacking side to go out and win that game.
Yeah, I agree.
God, I'm against Bournemouth. Of course we should. And I'll tell you what about Downs, right? Downs has now dispelled the myth that he's not up to Premier League standard or he needs time to adapt, right?
Against Liverpool,
because
he was good.
He's just played against one of the best sides in the world and looked comfortable.
Would you play him instead of Souček, or would you play a free again, or would you go back? You play him instead of Souček, would you?
I'd play him instead of Souček, and I'd go 4-4-2. I'd go the way we finished that game, but I'd swap Downs out for Souček.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah. Cheers, Lynette. Thanks very much.
Cheers, Gary. Thanks, mate. Thanks for the call.
See you later.
Bye, mate.
Have you heard Moyes' post-match press conference?
No.
No,
that's what I do. I win.
Do you want to go through some comments, John?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, to do it, didn't you?
Do it again. Just do it again for those who didn't hear it. Go on, do it again.
Everyone heard it.
What?
I said everyone heard it. Everyone heard it. That was good. 2 good calls. Right. So yeah. Look, I think on the face of it, we finished. It was encouraging the way that we finished. but be honest with me, John. I'm going to ask you now. Be honest with me.
Yeah.
Did we look better the way we finished the game than the way we started it?
Of course, 100%.
Now
But
tell me.
How long have I been saying 4-4-2?
But now tell me.
4-4-2.
Now tell me. David Moyes watched that game the same as we did. Would he start with a 4-4-2 against Bournemouth?
I would like to think so, but
Will he?
based on experience, probably not. But
No.
I'd like to think so. But I think now, not stumbled across it, but we're losing. He's thrown Antonio on. Maybe it could have ignited something in him that might make him think, I think it's time to change, especially now we need to win against Bournemouth. Bournemouth is huge.
And exactly what Gary just said, Bournemouth at home, they've just lost to Southampton at home, right? Yeah. We are playing Bournemouth at home. There is no reason that Moyes doesn't set that team up to go out and smash Bournemouth, right?
Yeah. I think we've got to take the game to teams.
Spurs are losing 3-0.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's
it is.
Well, you going through the comments, Sean? We've got loads since the calls. We'll have a 10-minute, 15-minute break from the callers, and we get on with the.
What did you just say about the score? What was the score?
3-0.
3-0.
Spurs are getting rumped.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Bloody hell.
Back in a minute.
Who's Justin Gowers? Was he? I've only just looked at the chat. Was that?
No, I didn't see. I think Gary blocked the person.
Did you block him, Gal? Yeah, Gary must have blocked him.
We're finishing 10th at the highest. Belondi Olsen, in regards to Gary's call about Bilic, any manager could do well with world-class Payet.
Yeah.
John says, don't underestimate Kretinsky. I think he will ring the changes over time.
Yeah.
Hammerhead says, how much did Downs throw us back to Noble? I said it from the off. I said it when I saw him in pre-season against Reading straight away. Looks like Noble. Plays like Noble. And Rice. Rice is a bit like Noble.
I think he's a bit of a hybrid.
Yeah, I've said that. He just looks like he can do it all, mate. I'm telling you. Moyes' risk averse. Probably has a circuit breaker hooked up to his kettle.
I know.
Dave Crafty, good caller. Gary from Romford. He won't drop Soucek. He's getting on my bloody nerves.
Yeah.
Amit Kamal, the idiot, has only played Downs as Paqueta is injured. The moment Paqueta is back, Downs is dropped. Mm-hmm. Well, if we play 4-4-2, where would Paqueta play anyway?
Yeah, no, this is true.
That's another thing you've got to think about, systems for players. We've got Moyes to get sacked Monday after we lose to Bournemouth. You've said that about every Monday for the last 6 months.
You got this one from Kent here, where he says, "I've got a counter for you, Kent. Bilic piggybacked on Sam's defensive work. He had Payet the next season. I'm going to say that Moyes piggybacked on Pellegrini's attacking players."
No, that's nonsense.
I think it is. I think that's true, because it was only because at the first the Moyes is we're not as good now. We're not playing as good a football now as what we was playing in the first season. The second half of the second season, it started to get more dour, and this season it's been fucking turgid. Personally, that's my opinion. That the football is now that was a smashing grab. That was Moyes throwing a kitchen sink today, and it looked better. That is never going to be the way that Moyes plays football.
Listen, really, right? We came good when Moyes signed Bowen and Soucek.
Yeah, we did a little bit, Nick. You can't say that.
We did.
Okay.
Well, we did. You can't say that. And if you're saying he piggybacked,
but he benefited from the players that was left behind. They weren't shit.
Well, how
they were his players.
Hang on a minute.
So Soucek and Bowen were the ones that got us top 6. Just himself.
No, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. How did Pellegrini not get a tune out of those very same players that he piggybacked on?
How did Moyes not get a tune out of Haller? How did Moyes not get a tune out of Vlasic? How did Moyes not get a tune? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? Vlasic has gone to Italy. It's not the strongest league in the world.
No.
Snail-paced.
I know.
I see him lamb on him now, don't I?
Yeah.
Apparently. Must be shit.
Not good news. I didn't say he was shit, but some players can't cut it in the Premier League. So don't put words in my mouth saying this like you're the Pied Piper on your smoking pipe.
Must be shit. Must be shit.
Moyes is perfect for GSB. He is going nowhere. Rumours are Paqueta may be out for a while.
Yeah, that's bad.
So 2 weeks, someone said earlier. Craven said earlier 2 weeks. So I don't know how true that is, but Craven said it.
You're not going to... This is not an excuse. But let's be honest. We do have a lot of bloody injuries, and I agree.
Yeah,
especially in bloody defence. It's constant saying happening. Where are we? Sorry,
I think he went down on his shoulder.
Do you know what is
he landed on his
is
shoulder.
playing out? What is playing out? Cornet. When we signed Cornet, I did have a look. We had a load of Burnley. I think one of us did a video on Cornet, and we had a load of Burnley supporters comment on that, and they all said that he's a really good player, but the guy gets non-stop niggly injuries. He's out constantly, like every other week. He's got something stupid. He's out now. He's been out for 2 weeks with a calf injury. Yeah. He's constantly got injuries all the time. So that's playing out the same way.
Are there loads of Burnley fans anywhere though?
Well, there were on our comments of our thing.
Some of the football under Pellegrini was delicious, especially when Anderson was firing. One player that just needed an arm around him. Look at him now. Where is he? Where is he now?
How is he doing? He's doing well, yeah. I mean, I loved him when he first came. He had such sort of good poise and balance and, knew how to finish a chance, didn't he?
Trev,
I liked about him as well. I think he just lacked confidence because that guy had genuine pace as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Really good pace. It's a shame.
All these mummy boys need to stop playing football if they need confidence.
I agree with Trev here. Would you like to see Benny given the chance to fill in for Paqueta? Yeah. Well, yes.
Yeah. If
we play that formation, yes. Otherwise, I'd like to see Benny on the left, like we just saw him.
But look, I think we have got to take one positive from this today. And it is that the main positive is Downs came in. It sounds like he came in because Paqueta was injured, but Downs did do himself justice.
Proved himself in the Premier League.
He did himself justice. Moyes can't say he ain't ready now.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you there. What's this one say? If Paqueta is out and Cornet comes back, Bene for Paqueta, Cornet out wide. Yeah, but then you're not doing the 4-4-2 formation that we all like.
Yeah.
And that we all said ended the game well. That's the problem now. If you're
doing 4-4-3. 4-4-3.
Yeah.
Paqueta was always going to get an injury. He's not used to the hustle and bustle of the Premier League.
Yeah, look, what's this? Anderson, it's something from Kent there. Look, Anderson was a number 10 and only got played there twice, Arsenal away and Newcastle away, and had blinders.
Yeah.
Why is it with West Ham and playing players out of position?
I don't know. It's traditional, isn't it? It's traditional.
Yeah, it is tradition. It is actually just tradition,
yeah.
Fuck's sake. Right, I'm gonna share my screen. Hang on, we'll do the player ratings.
Yeah.
Okay, right. We'll start with you, Gary. Give us talk to me about Fabianski.
Fabianski had a very, very good game. Made some great saves, especially the one where he came off his line really quickly, timed it perfectly, didn't give a penalty away, saved from Salah. So I give him an 8. No, 7. Yeah. Sorry, 7. The 7.
I thought he was good today.
Above average. Well, very good. An 8. Yeah, go on. Very good. He's an 8.
Yeah, don't forget the one. Don't forget the one from the corner when it fell to Firmino about 6 yards out, and he came out and blocked it. That was a good save.
Yeah. Give him an 8. He don't get 8s very often, does he? So I'm going to give him an 8.
Give him Fab an 8.
5. Someone said 5. Why?
Did you not?
I thought.
Yeah. Look, that save against Salah alone. Look, Salah scores those. Right, he scores those.
Yeah.
Or he goes down and wins a penalty.
John Johnson.
He looked a bit slow at the blocks. He looked a bit shaky. I don't think he closed down the Liverpool left back from the cross. I think it was, wasn't it? What's his name? Tomiskas.
Yeah.
I just think he looked a bit lethargic at times. He did all right. He got better as the game went on. But I'd say a 5 for me for Johnson.
Yeah, he had a really shaky period around that goal as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. His confidence was just shot to pieces after that as well.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, most people are saying 4s and 5s. I said a 5, so I'll stick with that. Ulster Ryan says Johnson is a championship player.
Thing is, today he was playing in his preferred position as well.
Yeah, he was.
I wonder how fit he is though, because he was out for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
He's been back a few games though, John. He's been back a few games.
Oh, go on, Gary. I don't know how to do this one, so you can have him. Cresswell,
I thought he had a decent game. I think, like you said earlier, though, he was, that is Salah's preferred side to run at a defender, but he was greatly protected by Rice, who was playing out left of the 3. You've got those Rice and Souček the wrong way around there. Rice was helping him out, and Fornals was helping him out as well. So, but having said that, I thought he did all right. The crosses were rubbish. He couldn't, he had 2 crosses from open play where he hit Trent. Right,
he couldn't clear that. He never seems to get the ball in quickly enough, does he?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He dwells on it. He waits, and then yeah. You want him to do an early cross, don't you? So I'll give him a 6 average.
The only thing I'd say in Cresswell's defence, because you sort of said it there, Gal, and I know you're not digging him out, but I think we said it. Nick said it during the game as well. Like, oh yeah, but he's got Fornals and he's got Rice that side. But you got to remember, on that side, he's Trent Alexander-Arnold and Salah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So it's not they're not doing it because Cresswell's crap. They're doing it because that's their main threat.
Yeah, no? I know.
That's all I'd say about that.
I do think that the reason that Fornals is on the left is to protect Cresswell, though, John.
In the main, I'm talking about tonight's game, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think Rice was there to protect Cresswell tonight, and I think that's why Rice got man of the match. To be honest.
Yeah.
Right, John Kera. I thought he was all right. Apart from the goal where him and Zuma got a bit confused.
Yeah, I think the confusion between them for that goal was. I think he was quite culpable for the goal to some extent as well. I mean, Johnson, Zuma, and him probably in some ways at fault of it if you want to pick bones out of it. But he was all right after that. He wasn't brilliant, but he wasn't terrible. I think it was just an average game, 6 for me.
Yeah.
Oh, people giving him 5s and 6s in the chat. Mickey Smith, 5, 6s. Shell West Ham 6. Matt gives Tio a 5. No, I thought he wasn't.
I wouldn't say he's below average. Game. I wouldn't say he's below average. Zuma, I'd probably say pretty similar to Kera. There was a couple of good challenges that he made, but yeah, he wasn't at his best tonight. I think it was just an average performance. I think that, like I say, I know John rolls his eyes whenever I say it. I think Liverpool did get in behind us and got plenty of chances tonight, and I don't think that. Yeah, Zuma wasn't at his most mobile, in my opinion.
But he never is. He's not mobile, is he?
No. So I think
this
6.
Is look Zuma. What Allison says here. We've said this about him. Needs to be more of a leader. He's not a leader.
No, Zuma is not a leader.
He's not a leader.
Kera's the one with the mouth in that back line, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right, John. As you gave him a donkey last week, you're not going to this week. So take Souček.
Listen. I know I've been calling for him to be pulled out the team in place of Downs because we didn't know what formation we were going to come out with, and if it was going to be what we used to, I would like to have seen Downs instead of Souček. But to be honest with you, I don't think Souček was that bad tonight. I thought he actually kept the ball moving. He kept the ball ticking over. He did do some interceptions and blocks and things like that. He didn't have a great game.
He weren't wasteful with his passing.
No, he wasn't. He kept the ball. He was very good with his passing tonight. It's the best I've seen him play for a while, if I'm honest. Yeah. I think a lot of people are going to score him based on their amalgamation of the season thus far.
Do you think that this type of game is the game that he's most suited to when we're more sort of, I don't know, we're more sort of defensive and on the back foot? I think that is Souček's good there because he's got a job to do.
Well, you say that.
I think he's more comfortable.
You say that, Nick, but we was only on the back foot from when they scored. So for the last 25 minutes, and in the second half, we wasn't on the back foot at all. I don't think in the main. I think we actually took the game to them.
I think the second half was ours, to be honest.
Okay, so for 20 minutes, we was on the back foot after they scored. I think he had a good game.
Also, in many games when we play in midfield 2, we're up against a 3 and we get overrun.
Yeah.
So we were playing with a 3 today. I think it made a big difference. It helped Souček.
If you're honest, as uncreative as that is, it's very solid in the same breath, right? I know we don't want that.
Listen, the only difference that I probably would have made to that starting lineup, and it would have made a lot of difference to start off with, would have been Benny for Fornals.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Benny for Fornals, that would have given us more threat because Bowen was looking all right. So Bowen, Skamaka and Benny as a front three would have been fine. Fornals, unfortunately, he ain't a shit player. He just looks shit on the left wing because he ain't a left winger.
No, I know. I'd actually tonight, Souček 6 is average for him. I think it was above average. I'm going to go out there and give him a 7.
Yeah, he's been slammed for a few weeks, hasn't he? So that was undoubtedly his best performance of the season.
Probably was.
Yeah,
probably was.
Right, Gary, Rice. Oh, no, go on. Do you want Rice or Downs?
I'll do Downs. I'll do Downs.
Go on then.
So look, I thought as his debut start in the Premier League, I thought he was pretty flawless actually when it comes to his primary job.
Absolutely.
His primary job in central midfield, he was pretty flawless. I mean, he got forward and got a nosebleed a few times with his passes. But having said that, there was one that he tried that could have come off, and there was one really bad one that he played. But other than that, pretty perfect. And I would, because it was his debut, I'm going to give him an 8. Very good.
He was good, yeah. He was. Yeah. He was. But by our matrix, John, I think.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just like, that's a good score, like, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you lot are going to score the players till you say it now. So yeah, I don't disagree.
No. I do think in midfield, on the whole, we were good today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll take Rice. I think he was brilliant today. I think he was covering at the back. He was getting forward. He was very responsible. He weren't trying to be the hero, sort of trying to go on stupid runs when it weren't right. He was making good decisions. He was covering for Cresswell. He was all over the pitch. For me, it's no coincidence that Salah was so quiet, and I think he was instrumental in that. You are right, Gary. Rice and Souček need to be switched, but for me, I probably would go a 9 for Rice. I think it was a really good game against a fucking good team. So but he did have, like I say, it's no coincidence that they've all got higher marks in this. That was a good solid midfield today. Those three together, it was a good solid midfield.
Yeah. Do you think that might, because of the way they played together, the three of them, do you think that might be the starting midfield for a while now? A little bit?
I don't mind that, as long as he's got to put someone else out on that fucking left. He's got to do it. And that's someone else is Benny.
I'll tell you what, if we play, we got, Brentford, for instance, sides like that who flood the midfield and outnumber us. I think we play those midfield three against teams like that, it'll be a different game.
Yep.
Right. Okay, Gary, 4-0s.
4-0s, I thought had I didn't even see him in the first half. I didn't see him in the first half. I noticed him more in the second half. I thought he came more into the game. He was clearly doing a lot of defensive duties, but he's supposed to be there as a left-sided attacker of a front three. He weren't doing that job, right? He weren't doing that job. So he did half a job. So I'm going to give him a below average 5.
Yeah, I don't look. Listen, I think for someone to get a 4, they've got to do something bad. They've got to be. Yeah. For me, the way I always score a player is that every player starts with a 6, and then if they do well, they go up. If they do bad, they go down. Yeah. And I don't think he did anything to actually hurt us today.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. He just didn't really affect the game, did he? At all.
Him being Pablo. He was going about his work. He weren't being lazy, right? He was going about his defensive work, right?
Right. And a player who I do think had a good game today, John. Over to you, Bowen.
Well. Yeah, I mean, you say he had a good game.
Apart from the penalty miss.
Okay, but you're going to have to take that into account because that's part of his game.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was good today. He was attack minded as you want him to be. He was direct, but the penalty was poor. And look, that could have nicked us a point. I think I'll give him a 6 because of the penalty miss. Would have been probably 7s. But the penalty missed for me.
Yeah, he was lively today, though. At least
he was lively. Yeah. He was lively. I just can't get over the penalty. It was poor. I know we can all have them moments taking a penalty, but I'll have to mark him down to a 6 for me because of the penalty.
That's fine. I'm not going to talk about Scamacca too much because I just think it's an as is. I think that's a 6. I don't think it's his fault. I don't think he got hardly any service at all. But it is what it is. He didn't really see much of the ball at all tonight. To speak honest,
it was no coincidence that he looked a little bit better when Antonio came on.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah,
because he had a link between him in the midfield.
Yeah. Right, Gary, you have Benny. John, you can have Antonio. Go on.
Well, I thought Benny put in a very good, productive performance and could have nicked himself a goal if he'd have swung his foot at that rather than the little controlled back pass that he played. He could have had a goal. I'll tell you what, I'll give Benny an above average 7.
7, yeah, he was good. Yeah. What I like about him is he comes off with a good attitude. He comes on the pitch with a good attitude now.
He does. He does. I really look forward to seeing him come on now, and that's the opposite to where I was last year.
Do you know what he also does now? He keeps it more simple than he ever did.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't do those pointless stepovers. He doesn't try the silly flicks. He in the main does a bit, keeps it simple, and I like that about him there.
Yeah. John Antonio.
He did all right when he come on. You know, the usual lamb busting. He had an opportunity where he slipped, which was quite annoying. But apart from that, he did all right. 20 minutes, I'll give him a 6.
Give him a 6. Yeah, that's fine. Right, I did Moyes last week. So Gary, go on. You can take Moyes tonight.
Well, look, I think Moyes, apart from one player, he got the formation bang on. I thought it was the right thing to do against Liverpool to try and not be dominated in midfield. So I think he got the formation right, and I'm pretty sure his idea was to keep it tight and not concede an early goal. And we did keep it tight, but then we conceded an early goal. But then the second half, it was good, and the substitutions were bang on. And look, we didn't, even from the off in that game, we didn't sit back and invite them on, did we? So I've got to give Moyes probably, I'm going to give him an above average 7 on that one.
Fuck me. I completely disagree, but it's yours.
Well, what do you reckon then? Go on, you can score.
Look at the way we finished the fucking game, and we was all over him.
Yeah, go on. What do you reckon? Well, look, he can't score the goals himself. When you look back at that game, right, we should have got at least a draw out of that game.
Yeah, based on the fact when he was forced to make changes because we was 1-0 down and we was chasing the game.
Based on the chances missed on the pitch, right?
But Nick,
after he made the changes.
Well, yeah, that's him, though.
Yeah, but can I say something, Nick? I'm not disagreeing with you or agreeing with Gary here, but playing devil's advocate, you always make changes based on the game. You can't say he made the changes because of the game.
We didn't have enough flair to do
anything.
anything.
I'm not saying we did, but listen what I'm saying. All substitutions are made because of what's going on in the game.
Fuck.
If they don't do it, then there's a problem. That's all I'm saying.
I'm looking through the comments because I don't want to do something that's completely against what people think, right? So you got a few 6s in there. You got a 4. You got a few 5s. You got a lot of 6s. Only a few 7s. Only a few 7s. So give him a 6. Go on, give him.
Hang on a minute. We've got someone here who I know hates Moyes as much as other people. Yeah. Razor West Ham.
Yeah.
And his comment is, I hate Moyes here, but let's be honest. Other than taking off Soucek, not Flynn, he did okay for tonight for me. Just needs Skamaka instead of Bowen taking pens and Emerson on instead of Cresswell. Ooh, Razor's turning into a Moyes fan, Nick. What do we reckon?
There's a good point by Mickey Smith there as well. Like, we lost by trying not to lose. That's quite succinct, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
We lost by trying not to lose.
That's no. What it is, David Moyes. The primary thing, the way David Moyes sets his team out is to not concede, and that's the way we started the game. We proved at the end of the game by how nice was it to see Klopp shit himself and start making changes.
Oh yeah.
We gave them something to think about.
Yeah.
It was nice.
There's
more often. So what are you doing?
Look,
I'm leaving it as a 7. You said 7. It's down as a 7.
That's fine. There's quite a few 7s in there. Quite a few 5s. Quite a few 6s.
Right, everyone. Man in the match. I know what the I know Rice was giving it on the stream, but we'll let you lot choose the man in the match. I know Rice got the 9, but that doesn't necessarily mean he needs to get man in the match. Do you think Flynn Downs deserves it because it was his first Premier League start and he did really well? Let us know. So
I just got.
You've upset Razor.
Razor's come straight back at me. We hate John. Never.
You've demasculated him. You just demasculated Razor.
Razor, call in, mate. I want to hear what you sound like. I've got a vision of you being like some hard nut, mate. I don't know why. Probably.
It's Rice. Okay. No, I think that's fair.
Yeah, definitely.
It's Rice, isn't it?
Deserved.
Okay, that's that. Job done. Right. Now, if anybody does want to call in, we shall continue talking for about 5 minutes and then we shall drop off.
Yeah. Come on, one more caller. Come on. Call in.
Someone call in. Let's
numbers at the bottom of the screen. Call in. If you're a new caller, all the better. We're very friendly. John's very friendly.
I'm very friendly.
Yeah.
Nick ain't
friendly.
I'm friendly. Just not to you. Just not to you. Yeah. Overall, that's fine. How did Bournemouth get on tonight? They lost, didn't they?
Let's talking of tonight. Let's see
should we review the scores? Let's review the scores.
Yeah, go on.
I've got a caller. Hang on. I'm going to patch him straight in and take a risk. Here we go.
Oh no, risky.
Hello, mate. No pre-screening, so you're straight in the show. Hello. Can you hear us? Has he got shy?
Dirty phone calls.
Hello.
They're breathing.
Ooh. Hello.
What's going on, niggas?
It's
You like it, don't you, Nick?
Well, there's no one there, no?
Hang on. Hello. Hang on. I think I might have freaked him out. Asking him what he had in his knickers. Hang on. Hang on.
Manchester United. Man U beat Tottenham 2-0, not 3-0.
Ah.
Fred and Fernandez.
Oh, it was 3-0. One must have got.
No, we got Bournemouth 0, Southampton 1, Brentford 0, Chelsea 0, Liverpool 1, West Ham 0, as we know, Newcastle 1, Everton 0, Man United 2, Tottenham 0.
That is what's his name's first bad result as Chelsea manager, isn't it? So perhaps we'll be getting him in the summer.
0-0. 0-0 ain't bad, is it? 0-0 ain't bad. Brentford ain't a bad side. Let's be honest.
No.
So if I go to is he on the phone? Is he talking to someone?
I don't know what he's doing. He's doing.
Sorry, I weren't meant to be on mute. Go on.
So if we look at the table, we are 13th. We are. You know, there's only.
Tell us how far we are off the bottom and how far we are off the top.
Okay, so we are 2 points away from 18th, which would be the first position in the bottom three.
Yeah.
And we are 5 points away from what, 7th? What do you want? 7th, 6th?
Sixth.
So we are 7 points away from 6.
Right.
There is 7 points between 7th and 18th. There's a bit of a gap opening up there as well. I can see it.
Should we mention that we are level on points with 14th place? We're 1 point above Everton, who are on 11 games and have got 10 points. We are 2 points ahead of Leeds, who have 2 games in hand on us. We're 2 points in front of Aston Villa, who have 1 game in hand on us. I think Wolves, I've got to be honest, that bottom three, the only team that I can see getting out that bottom three is Leicester when they do eventually click.
No.
I think Wolves are shit.
They're gone, mate. Leicester are in pieces.
Rumour has it, they can't afford to sack Brendan Rodgers.
No. And the players don't want to be there. Tielemans don't want to be there. They don't want to be there.
You reckon?
100%. They're in proper financial turmoil.
You know what happens. Right? When players want to force a move and they won't sell them in the Premier League, they'll force a move. The club will get relegated. They get their move, right?
I'll say this. I know you two won't agree with it, but there is a manager I would have, Brendan Rodgers. I would take Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers. I would.
Yeah. You know what? I'd
with that group of players.
I'd consider Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, but you tell me you want serial winners. He's not.
No, I want to see good football, John. It ain't serial winners. I don't think anyone's going to come in and win us the league. I just want to watch good fucking football. That's all I want to see.
Yeah, look who's turned up again. Look, Eastside. John, your manager is doing wonders. Eastside, do you know what? He's your manager as well at the moment.
Oh, no to Rodgers from Eastside.
I'm joking.
No,
yeah, look, Madison will be gone in January. I'm telling you, they're in shit street, mate.
Eastside is already Rodgers out, even though we haven't got him.
He's Rodgers out.
I think Eastside is any manager out. I think Eastside wants the job himself. That's what the
I know. But I think the issue is look. It's like you got Razor who's saying Poch all day long for me.
Oh yeah.
What you have to bear in mind is. Hang on, we've got a caller.
Oh, you've got that as your ringtone. I didn't know that. I wonder what that.
Yeah. Never forget it. Right, 1 minute. Oh,
is he going to go?
Play that.
Hello, John. Hello, John.
John,
is his technology?
Oh, is that Nick?
Yes, speaking. John, you're on. This is John from Kent who called on.
That's right. Yeah, with the web feet. Yeah,
that's it.
Oh, hello, John.
He came on and spoke to Nigel. Do you remember?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. How you doing? You all right?
Very well, mate. Very well. What would you like to talk about, John?
Right now, you're talking about Leicester getting out of trouble. Now, I think I don't think they will. I think they're going to struggle all season. What do you think? What do you think about going in for Maddison in the January window?
I'd love Maddison
all day long. All day long.
Agree, 100%.
Great player.
Never say no to Maddison.
Yeah,
be an expensive player. You got to play that. You got to pay that English player premium, haven't you?
Yeah, but I think we should go out for him. We should take the punt and start tackling him up, just like all the other big clubs do against us. You know.
Yeah, I wonder if Leicester are in financial trouble and they can't afford to sack Rodgers. I wonder if they could afford to turn down a decent offer.
Yeah.
There won't be no shortage. There won't be no shortage of takers though for a player like Maddison.
No, but let's start tapping him up early doors.
Yeah.
You know, with what goes on behind the scenes, and we know he's England quality. He really should be in the England squad. I don't know how Southgate's not picking him.
Yeah.
And just go for him. I think it'd be a major difference.
There's a couple of comments in the chat, so you've triggered a debate, John. And if someone said, "How about Harvey Barnes?"
Another good player.
Yeah.
Listen,
we got to start doing what the other big clubs do is tapping up behind the scenes, because we know it all goes on.
Yeah.
You know, and there's already talk of the vultures are over Skamaka already.
Yeah.
We know if we have a couple of good seasons, Skamaka will be tapped up. We got to start playing the game here.
Yeah, I think that's generally. I mean, the only thing that I would say is, with the players that we have brought in, I mean, I say the players that we've brought in. When you look at, and this isn't me having a go at Paqueta. I think Paqueta is a brilliant player. I think he could be potentially a brilliant player. But for 50 million, you probably could have got someone like Maddison. What would have been money better spent, in your opinion?
Maddison.
Do you think it would have been Maddison?
Yeah. Well, the only thing is, obviously, Maddison is used to the Premier League. He's grown up with it.
That's why.
I still think, given time, Paqueta can be a quality player.
I think so as well.
I mean, imagine if he was at Man City now, he would just slot in straight into that side.
Yeah, he would.
And I think he just probably hasn't got the right quality around him. You know, we talk about it on your chats that some of the players aren't quite used to his standard at the moment. But I think he can come good. But just going back to Maddison, I think if Leicester are in trouble by the time we get round to January, just go in.
Yeah,
just
take advantage
with a cheeky bid.
I mean, the only thing is, I know that we're still rumoured to be going out, and we are. We're looking at what we're going to be doing, business we're going to be doing in January. We just spent 180 million. How much more money do you think that we've got to spend? That's the other thing.
Well, I don't know. We've got to buy. We've either got to buy a top quality centre back or get someone on loan, because the centre back situation, a big. I posted earlier. I think Ogbonna is out the equation really for the Premier League. He's clearly struggling.
Yeah.
We don't know what's happening with Dawson. Zuma always looks half injured to me.
Oh, he does, and he does limp a lot.
Yeah. Aguerd, I like John. I saw him at the Reading game, and he looked absolute class.
Yeah, he did.
Not just his defending, but his distribution. He was hitting pinpoint, like long balls. He's really class. But in the back of my mind, I'm just wondering if he's one of these players who's going to be continuously injured all the time. Because that was a really but the injury he picked up,
quite innocuous, wasn't it?
It was nondescript, wasn't it? It was stretching for a ball.
And you wonder whether he's just going to be one of these players who's just going to be picking up injuries 2 or 3 times a season.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he does have He does have wankles.
Who
Right?
has
got weak
wankles?
ankles. He's got
Is it Agüed?
Agüed. Yeah.
Agüed. He's done this. This is his 3rd time with that same ankle, same injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
So
a
he's
concern.
definitely got a wankle. I don't know whether he's got wankles.
Sorry about their language, John. It don't
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm flabbergasted. But let's just I think Maddison would be a great acquisition, and if Leicester are down in the bottom 3, Maddison's going to be looking to get out.
Oh yeah,
He's got to be.
Yeah, to be fair, I think Leicester have got an awful lot of good players. They've got a lot of good players.
They have.
But yeah,
They have got good players, but they're kind of like a bit like West Ham, where they've got 3 or 4 really good players, and the rest are like a bit of a shower, I think.
Yeah.
I think we just need to, push the boat out a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I agree.
I'll tell you who I'd like from Leicester.
Go on.
I always get his name the wrong way around. Is it Justin John or John Justin or something like that? The defender.
Justin, yeah, good player.
I like him.
He's a good
And I
player.
think we need.
I don't know much about him. What position does he play?
He's a right back, isn't he? Left back, right back.
What position he plays in, John? You just said you wanted him.
No.
Yeah, but I like him. He's a good player. I can't think. I've
No,
been on this
no.
stream for 4 hours, Nick.
I know. But look,
But I think I've said before we've had a good sort of transfer window in the summer, but I think we need to kind of like look at doing something in January as well.
I think you will, especially if we're in any danger, if we're looking like we're. I mean, if they're going to stick with Moyes, if we're anywhere near the bottom 3 come the World Cup break, and they decide they're going to stick with Moyes, they're probably going to have to back him to go and get some players in. I would say.
Yeah. We don't really want have to do the same thing next summer as we've done this summer. And as it stands at the moment, we will have to do that because there's a number of players coming to the end of their contracts. There's others who we won't keep on. And it's probably a similar number to the number we just swapped this summer. And that's too many players to swap in one window, in one go. So I agree with you. I think we've got to go out and spend a little bit in January in preparation for the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, lovely. Cheers for that, John. We're gonna wrap up shortly. Thank you very much for the call.
Yeah, nice to speak, John.
Great show as usual.
Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for calling in.
On the best.
Take care. Bye.
Cheers, mate.
On the best one. Cheers. Do you hear him say I was the best?
He did. He did. Yep. Everyone says you're the best, John.
Yeah.
Martini, right. I'll stick my neck out now and say Flynn Downs is going to be a better prospect than Rice. The same age, isn't he?
It's a big shout. No, are they the same age? I thought Downs was slightly older.
But Downs is 23, Deck is 24.
Oh, fair enough. So he's slightly younger. There you go.
Doogie Montana. What's the coup with Ogbonna? I know he's no spring chicken, but he was our rock. I just think the Premier League's too much for him to play too much. You can't expect it of him.
Blowing your ACL. How old was he when he blew that? That
34.
was 34, yeah. And then trying to come back. He weren't the quickest before that injury.
No, he's 35 in May, isn't he? He'll be 35 in May.
Yeah.
Look, it's a shame, but he's good to have around the club at this last year, isn't he? He's a good character as well. And he's probably helping all the translation between Skamaka and Moyes, isn't he?
Yeah. That's literally his role now.
It's probably his main role, day to day.
Translator, He's the highest paid translator in the world. The thing that worries me with Agüed is, can he come back strong or will he be another Lanzini? Never be the same, because that happens to us a lot.
It's not as bad an injury. I mean, Lanzini was ACL as well, wasn't it? So
it's his ankle. He'll be fine.
Agüed was ankle.
Kretinsky's money after selling Souček and Savale, we can get a proper left back and a defensive midfielder, in my opinion, plus an even better top coach. Razor, you've ruined yourself again, mate.
I think you'd get Razor. I think you'd get 20 mil for Souček. I still think that, right? I think you get 30 bob for Soufal.
Yeah, I think 20 mil is a ceiling for Souček, though.
Yeah,
I don't think you're getting no more than that.
What did we pay for him?
About 20, 17 to 20, I think it was. with the fee, because it was a loan at first. There was a loan fee, and then there was an option to buy. I think that took it to around about 20. But anyway, look, I think that's about it. My throat's killing me actually.
Yeah,
I've been
on a long time, haven't we? We've been on since 7:10.
I know it's been a long stream. I hope you all enjoyed it tonight. Anyway, we did say we was going to do the odd watch along, and we will do it. We won't do it every time because we ain't got time to do it. But we'll cherry pick some games and we'll do some watch alongs with you. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed it. So if you did, drop a like on the show, and we will be back. Probably not tomorrow. We'll have a day off tomorrow, I think. Yeah, but we'll be back at the weekend at some point. All right, then we'll definitely do our. When are we?
Unknown caller.
When are we playing? I'm sorry, we have got a phone call, but whoever it is, you're gonna have to phone back next time because
it's Dodsey. It's Dodsey.
It's not.
Oh, it is Dodsey. It is Dodsey.
Is it? Let me hang on. Let me find out.
Hold on. You calling him back?
I can come on.
Hang on a minute. We ain't finishing yet. Hang on. We left prematurely. That's Nick.
You know what I've liked about tonight's little chat? Razor's gone from Moyes out to Moyes in to Moyes out again. Razor, he don't know where he stands at the minute, the boy, I tell you.
Yeah, you winded him up again.
Yeah, he always calls me son.
He does. His son, Joe.
Boy, son.
He types it as well. I've never seen someone type "all right, son."
Yeah.
No.
All right.
No, that's it. That's fine. So we'll wrap it up. Go on, Gary. Do you want to do your thing?
Yeah. No, thank you all for joining. We will see you at the weekend. I don't know when we're going to do the booze up. It'd probably be. We ain't got games till Monday, have we?
We'll do Sunday night.
Do Sunday night. Do Sunday night because I want a nice free weekend. But and we'll probably do a Saturday, won't you, Nick? You do a Saturday, won't you?
Yeah, probably will. Don't see why not.
Do a little ramble on a Saturday. But other than that, thank you all for joining. It's been a lovely long night, but it's been quite interesting, quite a good game as well. So until next time, see you soon, and come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons. Moyes in.
Irons.
No.